with the footprint. We just put that footprint a lot farther, so we just made that car, instead of that beach ball on the roll, we're going to take it and put that print 12 feet wide or what have you, okay? And then we're going to put a strap there, we're going to tighten them, and they're going to tighten, and you'll see how well it works. Again, I had these guys slow it down, and they're going to put a strap in between, but you can see how fast these things go together. If they're going to hold a support straight up and down, these are rated about 8,000 to 10,000 pounds, so more than enough for a vehicle, because really we're not picking this vehicle up, we're not having to stabilize the entire weight, and this thing's probably only 2,500 pounds anyway. So we're only stabilizing it side to side, so now it's safe to remove the folks that are inside. And like I said, these guys, they would already be done. It takes about a minute and a half, maybe, for these guys to really get it tightened up. All right, so let's see. Let's see if I can get Scott to move this thing. Let me see if he can move this thing. Just still standing, right? Now I can get a crew if I have to. We'll put a crew up top, cut the door off up top, say we're up against a K-rail, we're up against something that we can't remove the roof. Then we would jump up there. These can be picketed, so we have pickets for any dirt, and then as you can see, we can put multiple straps here as well. But we don't even have to crank on that strap; it's just enough to tighten it up. Slow it down just a little, guys. Slow it down just a little. I know. All right, so here we're not going to have to cut all 6 posts, the A, B, C on each side. We're going to see, and I think it'll work, if we were to cut the C post, the B post, and the A post on this roof, we should be able to just fold it down, all right? And then now we gained access. We could cut the roof completely off, but we may not have to because we're only going to cut enough until the roof, we gain access to the crew compartment and rescue the folks. So before they started, they peeled and peeked. They looked for those airbags. We go in 3 steps. We'll look at the steering wheel. If that has an airbag, we then look at the passenger side, and you guys will see ABS and stuff on your dashboard. If there's an ABS or there's airbag system in the dash, then we go to the A, B, and C post, and what we call peel and peek. We'll pull those and open them up.
I don't know
if there's no airbag
I'm not steady
in the passenger side, there's no airbag in the A, B, or C post, and we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so let's see if they can roll this thing. There we go. And so we have access if we need it. If we have to cut it off, we just come in and cut the last 3 off. But now we have those posts sticking out, and now we've got it covered up anyway. So it actually acts like a little tray. We can bring our backboards in and the whole bit. I think they're going to go ahead and cut all of it off because these guys want to cut. That's all they want to do. Once we let them loose, they just they'll keep cutting until we rein them in. Anything else? So you guys, at this part, we'll go ahead and shut it off. I'll introduce the crew. Tell you, if you guys have your questions, please feel free to ask. We got about 10, 15, 20 minutes left, and these guys are super knowledgeable all the way from, the turnouts that we use to, which is what we're wearing, to the technology. Come on up, guys, and I'll introduce them. You guys just stand along this line like it's roll call. They got them all right up here, too. All right, so over here in this corner, it's Steve Wu. He's the firefighter paramedic on Engine 1. We can hold the applause till afterwards. These guys but he's a paramedic, so he provides ALS care, advanced life support, and does a good job. He's on Engine 1. John Sierra, he's the engineer. He drives Engine 1, and so stay off the sidewalks when he's driving. And then Captain Richmond, he's the captain on Engine 1 and downtown station. Captain Coriel, Truck 1 captain. run the 4-person rig. This is Stamper, Chris Stamper. He's the engineer. On truck 1, he gets to drive the front end of that. Then Chris Brandstetter, firefighter on truck 1. He's the tillerman, drives the back. Firefighter Huchting, he's the firefighter in the cab, or he drives the tiller, and that's when you definitely want to stay off the sidewalks when he's driving the back of that thing. So, all right, so if you guys have questions, maybe I'll turn it over to John.
Okay, you guys, now you can clap. You did a great job. You guys just fantastic. Now, you remember what I was saying about what your job is today. You're looking for ways to get information as to how we can improve. We can improve by making something cheaper, make our work easier, or make it faster. So those are the kind of things you want to be focused on. So now's your chance to ask some questions. Anybody got any questions?
How long does it take to unload the E1? Like all the equipment from it?
Are you talking about in this situation, just for education? Not long. Obviously, the truck one has specialized equipment, and it takes a little bit longer. Our goal and role is twofold. One, and our primary mission is patients. So locating the patients, treating the patients, extricating the patients, and getting to their hospital destination. So we have EMS equipment, and then we have limited amount of tools to do a wide variety of things. Not as specialized, but say like the irons, where we can break and kind of do a limited amount of prying. We have a few of those tools, and we'll use those tools in waiting for the truck company. So not a lot. It doesn't take a whole lot. We mainly get there, and then our goal is to be as quick as possible and to get to those patients. And what you didn't see here was, there would actually be patients inside the vehicles. So Steve would be inside. He'd be tending to the patient. He wouldn't wait to treat the patient when they get out of the vehicle. He'd be inside the vehicle treating the patient, whether it be starting IVs, getting medications, administering oxygen, and performing an ALS treatment. And then he would be coordinating with the extrication team as far as what's going on with the patient. Do we need to protect the patient? How do we move the patient? When they move metal, does that metal move on the patient? Do we need to stop that and change our plan? Steve and I are working together to the extrication team. Does that make sense? Okay. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, next question.
So, what is the material that you use on the blades to cut the bodies?
Hey, does somebody know what material is made up of the blades? Wait, we got. Hey, that's a question for the engineers that design the equipment, and that is actually a good point because you can go online and find out exactly what that equipment's made up of, and that'll be part of your research to follow up with. So that wouldn't be a hard thing to Google. Okay? Any other questions? Here we go.
What's the one thing that delays you in a situation like this?
So what kind of delays do you run into when you come onto a scene?
So, you can't say that every situation is exactly the same. A lot of it has to do with we're not exactly sure what we're going into. A lot of times, we'll get a traffic accident, and the truck company